just had a really interesting text come in, Cass, and it's something maybe we should spark a little conversation with you, because we'd love you to get involved, as we always do. And it comes from Ben, the Tranmere fan. Thank you very much, Ben, from the Wirral. He says, what am I going to do now with my Saturdays as my beloved Tranmere Rovers' season has come to a close? He says, support Liverpool or Everton for a couple of weeks? Don't be silly. He says, I'd rather watch golf. Have a good weekend. And that maybe is an interesting conversation with your team. Perhaps your team now is out. It could be, Liverpool, for example. You've won the title. You've done everything you needed to do. So are you, as a Liverpool fan, a bit like, oh, well, it's done now?
So are we saying that Liverpool supporters of football clubs who have got nothing to play for are on the beach? Can we say that the fans are on the beach?
You could say that, but even just broadening it out, like with the EFL regular season over, what are you a bit like, oh, what am I going to do? Are you going to miss the football? Are you glad it's over? Because maybe, like Ben, Tranmere had a bit of a tough season, although obviously in the end got out of the relegation picture from League Two. But are you happy it's over? Are you going to miss the football? Are you going to be tapping your fingers for a long time, waiting for the new seasons to start? Why not tell us this morning? We'd love to know. Or maybe give us the kind of things we should be looking out for this summer, because there's no football for your team. Don't forget, we've got the Women's Euros. We've got, obviously, the British and Irish Lions tour down under as well. But what should we else be looking out for to,
the majors
to keep
in
us
golf?
Of course, you would say that as well. But yeah, let us know what we should be looking out for to ensure that we get through this summer period, and then, as I say, the new season starts and you get raring for it. And we have all those hopes of a great season and they get dashed early on from any. 03717 223344. That's the WhatsApp number where you can also send us a voice note. So please do that, because we love to hear your voices as well. And you can text us to 81089. Oh,
I was thinking, sorry. What do you think Arsenal fans are thinking?
Well, it's their chance to let us know this morning. How are they feeling? They haven't fully confirmed a Champions League spot.
No.
So they still have.
I'm just wondering what, from a season that had so much promise and now it's ended sort of for them.
Well, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
We'll come to that a little bit later on in the hour. But let's talk about Liverpool and Mo Salah, who has been named the Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year, tying with the Arsenal legend Thierry Henry now for the most wins of that award. He received more than 90% of the votes from the FWA, with his teammate Virgil van Dijk coming second, Alexander Isak was third, and Arsenal's Declan Rice was in the top four as well. I guess it was a given that when you have scored, 28 goals, have 18 assists in 35 Premier League games, you're going to be high on the list for votes.
Yeah. And
do you vote on this?
No.
No? Okay.
And didn't have the greatest end of the season either. So
it's not over yet, though.
No, but he had an extraordinary, well, I'd say from start to about Feb, where he was playing absolutely top-notch football. Yeah. And there were a number. I'm surprised Gravenbeck didn't get a mention in, one of the players of the season. I thought he'd done superb for Liverpool this season. But that's just.
I hear what you're saying.
Salah is obviously the standout candidate because, like you said, assists and goals, which were a very high level. Yeah. And, don't have any problem with that. I think that's a pretty fair call. It had to be really a Liverpool player. I thought Isak had an extraordinary season. Well, he's brilliant for them. And obviously the demise of Man City this year has come at a cost. Any Forest player, Morgan Gibbs-White, had a brilliant season.
I mean, there's a lot of standout players, really.
There's been a few.
Chris Wood, obviously, he's in, what's he, fourth when it comes to the top goal scoring list?
On 19
goals.
19, yeah.
I'm sure that we don't get the breakdown in every single vote, but I'm sure there would have been a Forest player. A couple of writers would have picked out a Forest player. I'm sure of that. Because they have had an extraordinary season. There's no doubt about that. But I think when you're looking at the stats, there's no way that you can look past Mo Salah and what he's done. And by the fact that those 28 goals have helped them win that Premier League title, which the second Premier League title, their 20th league title, it's all of these things that it's very difficult to overlook a Liverpool player at that point.
Yeah, they won the league quite comfortably. And so, no, I don't see any. It was probably one of the most obvious players of the season ever, if we're looking at it in that way.
Where would you put him now then as a Liverpool great? Is he right up there?
Yeah, most definitely. Who would I say? Well, there's obviously Kenny Rush. Mm-hmm. You could probably put Alan Hansen, Steven Gerrard. I would say he's in that group without a doubt. Kenny Dalglish was an extraordinary player for Liverpool, and some of them guys have won like 6-7 titles, for the club. So it's, European Cups, or as Champions League as it is today. They've the list of some of the Liverpool legends have got years gone by is incredible of what they've won. So, but I think King Kenny would obviously be the one.
Yeah.
So I'd have him just below that.
And when you think back to next season, now that Mo Salah's staying, Virgil van Dijk is staying, and we haven't actually got your views on Trent Alexander-Arnold. We'll get that in just a moment. But can he replicate Salah what he's done this season? Do you think?
I hope. Well.
He's always been very consistent.
His condition is extraordinary. You're looking, when he whips his shirt off, it's like watching, Ronaldo when he took his shirt, and it's like, God, muscles in his spit, you know what I mean? He's sorry, it's an old football phrase. But I think it'll be hard to replicate it. It depends what Liverpool do in the summer, and is it possible he can improve again? Well, Jamie Vardy definitely improved in his 30s, because I remember thinking, he's 31, he won't be as good, and then got more and then did it again and until he got to about 35, 36. But Jamie
still playing,
and still did brilliantly well.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't see any reason why he couldn't get loads of goals. He's a goal machine and always has been. Just look at his numbers every year.
Yeah.
They're high.
Very quickly, the Trent news confirmed them this week that he is leaving the club come the end of this season. I think it's something we all largely expected. Many might have hoped for a turnaround, maybe just because of sealing the Premier League and all those celebrations, and he was amongst it, very much involved, which he was always going to be because he's come through the ranks and is a Liverpool boy born and bred. But what's your thoughts on it? Are you disappointed, or can you, as a footballer, understand his decision?
I've always said to you that I never want to, as a fan, I never want a player that thinks he's doing a favour playing for us or my club, okay? So 20 years at the club from a 6-year-old. Fantastic service, never let anybody down. Got injured at the end of this season because of a tackle we made in a game where he totally was committed. Yep. I think I would give him an absolute thumbs up. I'd applaud him if he was at Anfield coming back for another club. I have no problem with Trent moving on at all. That happens in football. Yeah. And Conor Bradley, I really hope he stays injury-free, because I think he's a real talent. Unbelievable energy. Conor Bradley, up and down. He's like an Andy Robertson on the right, who can just keep going one way and get back and go again. If he avoids injury, I think he'll be fine. But for Trent, thanks. Just thanks. You're a brilliant player. Great servant for the football
club.
Goes
with your best wishes.
Yeah.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.